Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. It is Monday, May the 26th, 5:26 a.m. with the big blue mug of coffee. I hope you had today's date circled on your calendar because it's a big day today, folks. Canada has a sitting government again. First time since December the 19th. Now, some of you may be thinking, John, it's better when the government doesn't sit because they can't mess up quite as much. They keep spending your money, folks, even when they're not sitting, but they are back today. As a matter of fact, you could say we haven't had a functional government since way back in October. The Sustainable Development Technology Canada mess up basically suspended all work last October. So nothing has been done in government for, 9 months? 8-9 months, nothing. More back today. Mark Carney tweeted this out about 14, 15 hours ago. I think he was talking to his caucus, and this is what he had to say about getting back to work.
We have what the world wants. We have the values the world respects. So, we are going to be very, very busy in the next few weeks. But we are going to be very, very busy in the next few months. We are going to be very, very busy in the next few years.
Carney vows to work hard over the next weeks, months, and years. Let's hope it's not years. And I believe he's sincere when he says he wants to get to work. He's fresh. He's the new guy. He's leading a very old, tired, stale team. It's been said many times, it's the same people that have been running the country for the last 10 years. Instead of voting in the new guys, the conservatives, who wanted some change, the status quo got voted in. But how hard are they actually going to be working? Let's take a look at their schedule. So here it is, May 2025. Here's the 26th. Let's move to June. And then after the 20th of June, they're on vacation until the 15th of September. And then as we move along to October, November, and December, only 73 days of work between now and Christmas time, basically. Not only that, only 73 days of work in the whole year by our government. How can any government function like that? How can any country function like that? But Canada is, because we're mediocre. Now, what does he hope to accomplish? Well, here's a little clip, same speech. I'm not selectively editing this. This is exactly what he said. Listen to the response from his caucus at the end. It's quite humorous.
It's my solemn commitment to work with all of you to seize this moment for Canadians, to build big, to build bold, to build together, to build now. Let's get to work.
Mark, you got the job. You don't have to do the stump speech anymore, particularly in front of your caucus. But what I find funny is that he was waiting for people to applaud at the end there. I was almost imagining like an applause sign above those Canadian flags flashing so that people would actually clap at the end there. But this is kind of the full court press you're going to get from Mark Carney. They're putting a lot of videos out like this, of propaganda. And what are they actually prioritizing when it comes to government? There's a video they put out. I've removed the music and changed it for copyright reasons, but there's something very important that's left off this list, which I'll get to in just a moment. These are the priorities now of Mark Carney, the Liberal Party, and the Canadian government. I think something very important was left off the list. I'll get to that in just a moment. Let's just look at his top priority right now. I think a lot of these things are going to fail. I don't think they're achievable. I think it's a lot of bloated government spending for most of these things. But the number one priority he has here, and it was the first one on that list, establishing a new economic relationship with the U.S. How's that going? They're our number one trading partner. How's the tariff situation going, Mr. Carney? You have been prime minister for a while, officially for a month. How's it going? The tariffs are having an effect on the Canadian economy, and that has not been resolved. Number one reason why you got elected. People are waiting, Mr. Carney. But the thing that's left off the list, he talks about building. Build big, bold, together now. What about pipelines? Danielle Smith was very clear that she had demands when it came to natural resources and pipelines. Here are some of the demands. Get rid of Bill C-69, the tanker ban, the emissions cap, the industrial carbon tax. Get rid of the plastics ban. Get rid of net zero regulation. Allow energy industry to advertise again. Free speech. Get rid of net zero vehicle mandate and some other things. She said they had a sit down back in late March, all the premiers, and they agreed on a lot of these things. But so far, Mark Carney hasn't committed to any of them. And he probably could help the Canadian economy greatly if he did that.
New poll shows overwhelming support for building more refineries and pipelines in Canada. Isn't that great news? That is one positive thing that's come out of the conversation that Donald Trump has started, the U.S. president, with the tariffs, is Canada realizes we've got to get our product to market. You've been singing from that song sheet for quite some time. Everybody seems to be getting that message except, I guess, the Bloc leader. And I'm not sure that Mark Carney has committed to it yet. Has he said yes to any of the things you put on the table for him?
What I will say is all of the premiers and the new prime minister got together, signed a communique saying we agreed to develop economic corridors that included oil and gas and transmission lines, new rail lines, new roads. So that's a positive that we've got a level of consensus among the premiers that suggests to me that regardless of who wins this upcoming election, we've got enough momentum to be able to start executing on that.
I captured that video almost 2 months ago on March the 28th. Not much has changed. Here's an article just the other day. Calgary Sun, Rick Bell. Danielle Smith warns Carney, stop foot dragging and kill anti-oil policies. So far, I'm not seeing anything to suggest there's been a true change of heart, says Premier Danielle Smith of Prime Minister Mark Carney and his Liberal government. That's because it's boring, it's old, it's stale, it's run down, and all it has is a new leader. What you're going to see a lot of is what you're seeing on the screen right now. All kinds of propaganda and smoke and mirrors of Mark Carney working hard for Canadians, and it works on weak-minded people who are just so excited he's even telling his staff how they need to dress. What we need to have happen now that government's back in question period, somebody on the Conservative side, maybe Andrew Scheer, stand up in government and say, we need an answer now. The Canadian economy depends on it, Mr. Carney. Are you going to get rid of Bill C-69, the tanker ban, the emissions cap, the industrial carbon tax, the plastics ban? It's only been Danielle Smith talking about this over the last several months. We now have a government back. We need answers to this now, Mr. Carney. Where do you stand? And no more of this, we're going to be a Canadian energy superpower with energy corridors across the country. Will you get rid of C-69, the tanker ban, the emissions cap, the industrial carbon tax, and on and on and on? That's what I want to have answered. Government's back, folks. What did Ronald Reagan say? The 9 scariest words in the English language. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next one.